What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. So before we get started with poll review, I have a few channel announcements I want to make. One of which is I hit the 3,000 hour milestone, which is very important for the channel. We can start getting monetized and making some sort of income. So when that's fully approved, I'll let everybody know. So if you wish to become a subscriber, I greatly appreciate it. And also, of course, you get subscriber benefits. Secondly, I don't know if you noticed, I've added affiliate links. So what that means that if you click one of my links and there will be no charge to you, I will receive a very small portion as a reward from Amazon for just recommending you this item. So what am I really offering in my description? This is a few things. So like kind of if you're curious, what is the current camera equipment that I have? What kind of equipment am I using to train? So these are things I really believe in, also including a few supplements that I use for the past year. So I really try these out for a while, make sure the products I'm using I thoroughly enjoy before I start recommending it to other people. So, you know, if you're curious, if you click, you'll find out just kind of what I do for the gym. Yep. All right, so now to get started with poll review. For the past 7 months, I've been working so hard, training, getting ready for open class, that I forgot what it felt like to actually compete in a tournament. And I thought it would be a great full circle because 1 year ago today, I competed at Illinois State Championships in the amateur division for 176. And on the left arm, I got second place. And on the right arm, I got injured for like 6 months. So I thought it would be a great idea just to go back and do the open class. So I think I really tried to prepare, but as I continued to prepare, I started thinking too much, and then my nerves got to me, and then, I was just having this psychological warfare inside my head. Anyway, continuing. So my condition the day of Illinois State, I was not there at all. I mean, I had all kinds of nervous symptoms and not feeling so good, as well as just kind of, anxiety driven and dehydrated and hungry and not really all that there. Like cognitively, I wasn't really there. I wasn't responsive. I wasn't aggressive. And then we're going to go through these videos and I'll explain why. All right, so for this first video, this is we start with the left hand class. I get Jacob Wynn. I don't know much about him. I just know that he's really good. And you can see me doing a very weird stance. This is a misinterpretation of what I was actually trying to do in training. Like I said, I was in a very bad condition, so I thought this was a good idea, but it wasn't, because I was mainly using my brachialis, and honestly, it's not that strong, and no side pressure. So once the match started, he just pinned me straight to the pad without much issue. For my second match with the left hand, I went up against Jim Taylor, and obviously I did the same exact thing. I was trying to, I was kind of intimidated by his hand. It was a very big hand, and so this is where all the doubts start coming in. I asked for the strap, and he agreed. And that wasn't, I don't think, a big mistake. I think the mistake was that, again, I was on my brachialis. I was trying to do a variation of a low hand top row, but I didn't dump my riser enough, so he ended up hooking me. We actually fought for a little bit, but he turned my pronator over. I couldn't protect it, and it ended up just being a pin. And again, almost no aggression to me. Yeah, I get eliminated from left hand. We move on to the right hand, and I get to go up against James Sample. So James and I know each other. We actually competed against each other last year, so it kind of, I beat him with my left hand. It kind of looks something like this.
Jared and John, table 3.
And, you know, again, I just wasn't really all that there. I was just kind of like up in the sky, just kind of, you know, wondering, what am I going to do? Anyway, little did I know James was probably in the same position as me, because I talked to him after. He said he was very nervous. So I feel fortunate to have found someone maybe in a worse, you know, position than I was. But the match started, and I've kind of watched some of his videos before, and I knew that James is kind of like a hook. He's a hook main, and I really committed to dropping my riser. So I knew I had no reaction time. So I couldn't start out with a straight riser and then do this. I just started out like this, see what happens. So I ended up catching him. And if you're watching, I don't react. So I catch him, and I'm thinking, and this is all in slow motion in my head. I'm like, wow, this actually happened. I caught someone. And the next thing I thought about is, how do I pin, right? I forgot how to pin. It's kind of funny. And he was trying. I was a little stronger, so I was holding him, figuring out, like, when should I pin? Eventually, he gave up. He pinned himself, so I kind of fell forward and I pressed him on, like just inertia or momentum, because he just dropped his arm, and I got the win. But I was, yeah, I mean, I was having an entire movie playing in my head this whole time. That was pretty much where my winning streak ended. For my next matches, I went up against Billy Croup, and he's just a powerhouse, and there's no way I can challenge him in my current mental condition and my poor technique and stance. So when the match just started, I thought he's a lot of side pressure. I'll just dump my riser, maybe slow him down 1%, but he just pinned me slow motion. And then back to back again, Jacob win, but on the right he eliminated me, and that kind of concluded my entire Illinois State Championship tournament experience. But yeah, now I know what to expect, and hopefully next time I can come back stronger. So a week goes by, and I'm pretty fresh, because my arms just did this really fast, so there's nothing really to recover. And someone mentioned that, why don't you do Border Wars, Illinois versus Wisconsin? Check it out. I'm like, you know what? I need to redeem myself. I need to come in a bit more confident and just do the open class and just try to destroy. So that's exactly what I tried to do. We started off with right hand match. So I will have the entire footage up on the channel probably a week after this video. There's a lot to sort through. But I went up against Joe. And Joe has an amazing, impressive bicep and really strong wrist. Anyway, you guys know that my left arm is the chosen one. My right arm is still clunky, but getting better. My goal really was not to, I didn't even know if I was going to win any of these. I just knew that I wanted to use what I learned to my best ability and try to, win with proper technique, instead of just kind of going under the table or, some kind of amateur position that I've done in the past. Now I'll show you guys. But anyway, me and Joe start going at it. He takes my pronator, so I start arm wrestling like this. And this is something that I'm not really trained to do, is arm wrestle like that. I need to be like this. So that's kind of a first mistake. I didn't secure my dominant position, my best position for exerting the best amount of power, because after I beat Joe, I really jacked up my rotators on my shoulders, and they got really pumped. I needed to get someone to pull down all of the blood that was just building up in my arm. So I think that was kind of a mistake on my part, because it really set the scene for the rest of the tournament, because I felt 40% weaker after that match. All right, so for my second match, I went up against Alan. Alan is a powerhouse. So he's been arm wrestling for over 10 years, and he is, or was, the number one 154 in Illinois, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he's very strong, and I think I had that impression of him, and you know, a little intimidated. So I might have given him a little too much. You know, I didn't get the best position. I also wasn't sure what his style was, so I was just going for top roll. We ended up slipping, and then I couldn't do this motion. Like I couldn't drop my riser back enough fast enough for the strap so that I can protect my pronator. He pinned me, but I slowed him down a bit. It looks like, I think, a little bit more development in my hand, and I could maybe have a good match with him in the near future. So I also went up next against Colton. So Colton just had a match against the same person. I went up against Joe, and he ended up beating him. So maybe Colton was a bit tired, but I was able to secure a much better position this time, and I just bring him straight to the pen pad. And without arm wrestling like this, a little bit more pronated. So I'm a little bit more proud of this one, and it was, you know, very efficient on my half. I didn't waste too much energy on this one. So for my final match for the right arm, and this will determine if I am third place or go to second place and compete for the finals, was against Diego. Diego and I we're like rivals now. It was very funny, something like out of an anime comic or something. He's a very strong guy, and he's a top roller just like me, so I really appreciate that. If you're watching, Diego, good job on keeping up that top roll. So for the right arm, see, he ended up taking my riser, and he was in a really good position. I didn't really have too many options, and I tried something I never tried before. I tried to flop wrist press. Just, you know, what I can think of. And apparently it's an intentional foul if we slip, even though I was trying to bring him to the pad. I'm not really sure about the rules. I got to really look into them. I was told that my fingers are straight and they needed to be more hooked or curved or something. I need to, yeah, review this again and maybe watch someone else. But I watched so many people flop wrist press, and it goes to straps. So I was like surprised that it didn't go to straps. So yeah, I lost on fouls and from the trying to flop wrist press. He didn't end up beating my right arm, to the pad. So this next match, I go up against Joe in the first round. Honestly, my left arm, like I said, this is the one. If I ever become globally ranked in the world one day, in 10 years maybe, it will be the left arm unless something switches. Yeah, it just feels so strong and comfortable just doing my techniques. So I already faced Joe before. I know that he is more of an inside puller. I'm able to drop my riser really fast. I actually drop it a little bit, and then I really just drag pull him. It was probably my most efficient pull. I wasted almost no energy. Very proud of this pull because it was, start to finish to the pad, no struggle, and I didn't do any extra movements that I needed to do. So this one felt really good. I think this is my number one pull, I guess. So for my next match, I went up against Nick Green. So Nick Green doesn't arm wrestle, 80 kilo class. He is 20 pounds lighter. He was actually like 69 or 68 kilo. But don't sleep on Nick Green. His hand is so strong, actually. At that point in time, my riser was a little, from the slipping and things like that, maybe training, it was a little injured. He took my riser, so we slipped. And then, obviously I have a weight advantage in the straps. I, put his arm down to the pad, and I didn't get to waste too much energy. But his slip did hurt my riser, and that probably kind of affected the rest of my matches. But yeah, Nick Green is going to be a really good contender for the 154 class. So if if he challenges you, you know, don't underestimate him.
Rotate it, rotate, rotate, wrist, perfect, wrist, wrist, stay right there, ready, go, stop.
So at this point, I'm in second place. I'm in the finals against Diego for the left arm. Like I said, my riser felt a bit tweaked. My hand was hurting. I was trying to think of alternative ways to beat him, and I tried to do kind of like a low hand drag pull so I can pronate and maybe work on his wrist. That kind of backfired, and he ended up taking my pronator, and then I lost the match. So, and then you know, because it's 2 out of 3. I just was being stupid. I should have tried for just top roll, maybe slip into strap. We didn't actually get to try strap match with each other. And I ended up trying to hook. So I've only hooked in theory and in practice, you know, very few times. And I was like, let me try, why not, see what happens. And now I understand what people, you know, who are hooking feel like when I top roll them. And it sucks because he took my pronator really easy again, and I was just like, I was kind of like this, trying to curl him up, and you know, I lost the match. He was in a really good position. But anyway, that's kind of like poll review. I think I redeemed myself. I did really good. I ended up taking second place left and third place on the right. I was in a much better mental condition and physical condition. And, you know, just continuing on. Gonna keep on pulling open class, gonna get back to training, and I'll upload the entire, you know, everything of what I got from the super matches and all the other classes. So I hope you guys enjoy, and again, thanks so much for watching. A lot of you went up to me at the venue, and you know, I didn't know you guys watched me. Like I see, you know, I see the numbers on the views going up, and I'm like, okay, someone maybe watch. But some of you guys really watch me, and you pay attention to what I have to say, and all I can say is thank you so much. You know, it's you know, it's a very nice feeling. It's humbling. It's where I want the channel to go, because I want to help out people, and I want people to feel like, you know, they form some kind of friendship with me through my videos. So again, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.